This is your own world of news, analysis and exclusive informations. This is the Great World. The Great World. The Great Report.
Welcome back, everybody. Today's deep dive is going to be a little different.
Oh.
Yeah, we're going to be looking at just one source.
Okay.
But it gives us a really fascinating glimpse into local politics and civic engagement in India.
Interesting.
It's an article originally published in Gujarati about a seminar held by the Bhavnagar city branch of the Bharatiya Janata Party.
BJP.
Yeah, the BJP.
Right.
Where they focused on India's 2025-26 central budget.
Okay.
Now, you might be thinking, like, how does this relate to me?
Right.
But even if you're not, like, immersed in Indian politics, this event, I think, can reveal a lot of interesting dynamics.
Okay.
Like how a major political party connects with its constituents, how these budget discussions play out at a local level, and also just the figures who emerge as key players in these local settings.
Yeah. You know what's interesting to me is that by understanding these kind of like smaller, localized activities, we get a much better sense of how national politics actually play out on the ground and affect people.
Exactly. So the article sets the scene. On February 21st, 2025, at the Magani Hall in Bhavnagar, it highlights Abhaisin Chauhan, who is the Bhavnagar city BJP president. He presided over the seminar.
Got it.
And it also mentions Naresh Kila, who is the BJP's CA cell convener for the whole state of Gujarat.
Wow. Okay.
And he led the discussion on the budget. Now, this is where it gets interesting for me. They brought in a chartered accountant to unpack the national budget. What do you make of that?
Well, I think it's a pretty strategic move. You know, in India, CAs are super respected for their expertise, financial analysis. So by choosing a CA to lead this seminar, the BJP is probably trying to make the budget more accessible to the audience. You know, especially local business owners and community leaders.
Yeah, I think that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
It's about translating something as dense as a national budget into, like, tangible takeaways.
Exactly.
For the people of Bhavnagar.
Yeah.
And speaking of the attendees,
the
article mentions a long list, including the mayor, the BJP's general secretary, and representatives from various chambers of commerce.
Wow.
This is not your average Tuesday night crowd.
No, definitely not.
Right.
And you know what's interesting, too, is that the article lists both past and present office holders as being there.
Oh, okay.
So that really highlights that the BJP puts a lot of emphasis on maintaining relationships.
Makes sense.
And continuity within the party.
So it's not just a seminar.
Right, it's bigger.
It's like an opportunity to strengthen their presence.
Exactly,
locally. So the article actually provides a lot of detail. Like, it even mentions how Abhaisin Chauhan honored Naresh Kila with a memento. And it individuals individuals like Prapat Singh, who's the chairman of Nagarik Bank. He gave the welcome address. And Sureshbhai Thantalia, who coordinated the event. Why include all these specific details?
Well, I think this meticulously documented account could be a way to, showcase the event's success. And project this image of organization and strong leadership. It could be a record for, like, future publicity or even internal reporting, to show off the impact of these local initiatives.
It's almost like saying, look how effectively we engage with our community.
And for us as observers, it gives us a deeper understanding of the individuals who hold sway within the local party structure on how these events are actually orchestrated.
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, it really does like paint a picture of a very well-coordinated effort. But it also makes me wonder, like, why choose to focus on the national budget at an event like this? What's the strategy there?
Well, I think that's a great question.
Yeah.
I think it suggests that the BJP is trying to show a direct link between national policies and the daily lives of their voters. They're taking something that might seem abstract and distant, like a national budget, and making it relevant to the people in Bhavnagar.
Okay.
especially the local business community.
So it's less about like the finer points of fiscal policy.
Exactly.
And more about connecting with voters. On a personal level.
Yeah, they're essentially saying this is how the national budget will impact your jobs, your businesses, your community.
Right.
And it allows them to position themselves as the party that understands those concerns.
Okay.
And can deliver local benefits.
Which, politically speaking, is very clever.
Yeah.
It fosters this sense of trust.
Right.
And demonstrates a commitment to Bhavnagar.
Exactly.
But let's not forget, this event wasn't just about informing people. It was also about mobilizing them.
Yes, definitely.
You mentioned all these attendees.
Yeah.
Representatives from chambers of commerce. They're not just there to listen.
Right. They're there to network, to build alliances.
Right.
And advocate for their interests.
It's like a microcosm of the political process. It's happening right there at the Magani Hall.
It really highlights how interconnected everything is.
Yeah.
This seemingly simple event
reveals
so much about how political parties operate, how they connect with their communities.
It's fascinating.
Yeah, and how they shape public perception.
You mentioned earlier that having Naresh Paikela, the BJP's CA cell convener for the entire state, lead the discussion, was a strategic move. Do you think that signals a particular emphasis
that's interesting.
On economic issues?
It's certainly possible.
Yeah.
You know, the BJP has been known to promote this pro-business stance.
Right.
So having an expert in financial analysis leading this discussion could be a way to emphasize the budget's impact on economic growth and investment.
Makes sense.
Especially at the local level.
Yeah.
They're sending a message to Bhavnagar.
Okay.
And potentially to the whole state. That they're the party that understands economic concerns and can deliver prosperity.
It's like saying we have the knowledge, the expertise, and the plan to ensure economic stability and growth.
Exactly.
But I'm curious, did the article mention any specific aspects of the national budget that might be relevant to Bhavnagar? Like were there any discussions about infrastructure projects or tax incentives or...
Unfortunately, the article didn't get into those specifics.
Oh.
But it's a good point.
Yeah.
Because even within a national budget, there are going to be regional variations
of course.
And priorities.
It's like we have the complete puzzle, the national budget, and then we need to zoom in and see how the individual pieces fit together at the local level.
And that's where local reporting, events like this seminar, become so valuable because they offer those insights into how national policies are interpreted, implemented, and debated.
At the local level.
Exactly.
It really reinforces this idea that even in a globalized world, local dynamics really matter. Decisions made at the national level might set the overall direction. But it's the local players, like those gathered at the seminar, who really shape how those decisions affect their communities.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's a reminder that politics operates on like multiple levels. You know, we have the national, the regional, and then the hyperlocal.
Yeah, and it's through understanding those connections that we get a more complete view. Of how policies are made, how they're carried out.
Implemented.
Yeah, and how they affect people.
So as we wrap up our deep dive into this single article, what's the biggest takeaway for you?
I think for me, it's the realization that even these seemingly ordinary events, like this budget seminar, can offer these profound insights into how a political party works. And how people engage with those in power.
It's about looking beyond the surface.
Exactly.
And recognizing the strategies at play.
It's like that saying, don't judge a book by its cover.
Right.
This seemingly routine event tells us a lot.
About the BJP.
Yeah. About their approach.
To local engagement and their broader strategy.
So the next time you come across a local news story or a community event, don't just dismiss it as insignificant.
Right.
Think about what it might tell you.
Yeah.
About the bigger picture.
Like how does it connect to national trends or economic forces?
Exactly.
You might be surprised by the connections you find.
You really might.
It's about cultivating that curiosity and looking beyond the surface.
Looking deeper.
To understand the motivations and the strategies.
It's fascinating.
Who knows, maybe this deep dive will inspire you to attend a local political event.
That'd be great.
And see these dynamics firsthand.
Yeah, get out there.
Yeah, exactly.
Engage with your community.
Well said.
Thank you.
Thanks for joining us on this deep dive.
It was my pleasure.
Until next time, keep exploring, keep questioning.
Keep learning.
And keep diving deep.
This is your own world of news, analysis and exclusive informations. This is the great world. The great world. The great report.
આજે જ સબસ્ક્રાઇબ કરો અમારી ચેનલ ધ ગ્રેટ વર્લ્ડ અને વાંચતા રહો અમારી વેબસાઇટ thegreatworld.in